Hello, lovies. I don't usually record things on a Friday, at least things to be shared with others. Just following the call. And so I have an inkling of what I want to share. But I'm gonna roll my handy. I keep doing that right by the mic. I'm sorry. I'm gonna roll my handy dandy dice, and I really want to be able to share soon. Soon I will have a setup to where you can see what I've got laid down here. For now, I can lift and show you. I've made little cards with things for color coordinated with the different dice, the D20 set. All right. So, bird sounds. Usually the other mic will do that, my condenser mic, the full-size one. I finally have birds regularly visiting my feeder multiple times a day, so that's been bringing me so much joy. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm a major bird nerd. Drawn to Venus first, which, that's fitting for Friday today. But drew 7, Uranus, Aquarius, okay. Interesting. I'm going to trust that this is going to come together in an unexpected way. Uranus and Aquarius energy with that. Because I initially wanted to do a show and tell of recent physical things that I tangibly manifested. And that said, I'm being drawn towards sharing the realization I had yesterday. And putting my thinking brain judgments aside and just showing up for this. My Reiki master teacher years ago, probably about a decade ago, when I was first attuned, it was the first class of that first program, and I had followed through on a number of them. And one of the lessons that she had taught, or tried to teach, that I wasn't in alignment with fully at the time, was the concept that everyone has the right to their suffering. Suffering interchangeably can mean karmic lessons, just lessons in general. Everyone is entitled to make their own choices and how easy or hard they want to make it for themselves to learn a lesson, and or just their own journey is their own timeline, right? Without going into the specifics of what, I don't want to say triggered, but essentially set off the understanding of that on the deepest level. I'm going to be kind of bouncing back and forth here. Over the years, I initially understood that as on a me level, like my journey of I had and have the right to my own suffering. And I feel myself disconnecting right now. I'm going to sit with that. The thing is, I felt called to share this yesterday and I didn't, and now it's one of those things where it's not. I'm not in the energy of it anymore. Like, the lesson is there, but it's not right. There's something else here that needs to be. And I keep saying Aries. It needs to be that I'm here to share what I'm passionate about, or what has the energy actively going on. I think what I'm feeling is a bit of regret and sadness that I didn't record myself yesterday when I was in that moment. Which is something I want to work on. And part of that's going to be setting up things so that way it's easier to access in the moment. So like, if I'm talking to myself in the mirror about something, or if I'm in bed just contemplating something, I can just like hit a button on a device and it's recording, even if it's just audio. Just making it easier for myself to do those things without interruption. It's okay. It's okay. Something that was interesting, which I'll tie it into this now, was once I had this deepest understanding of that lesson, that each of us has the right to our suffering, our own journey, and our karmic lessons. Once I had that realization, it was immediately after that I had received the notification that my SideStix crutches were delivered a day early. And it felt like a universe reward for getting it. And a sign of movement. And I have them right here too. And initially it was quite frustrating because I'm mostly a wheelchair user, and part of why I invest in the crutches, because I have another pair of smart crutches, but those didn't work out for me. At some point, maybe I'll do some like reviews just for the community. But I invested in the SideStix crutches because for one, I have the finances for it now, and I don't know if I will have that going forward, because the SideStix are, as another reviewer said, the Rolls Royce of crutches. They're the highest quality you can get, essentially. So I deserve it. But also, without going into all of the earthly things of it, essentially, I would like to at least give myself the opportunity, by having the equipment available, to maintain some kind of strength. I'm feeling very frustrated right now. There's a layer of frustration. This doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel real. I don't feel connected. And I'm sure other authentic readers, channelers, and just social media sharing people get what I'm feeling right now. This feels detached and vulnerable at the same time, so I'm going to keep recording. I keep looking at my new tarot deck, so I think I'm going to just pull some cards. Which, this is my new tarot deck. The Lovely Ladies Tarot by Brittany Keller, and they are on Etsy. And I believe their Etsy shop is their name, Brittany Keller. And came with this like cute little card. Whenever I get decks, particularly from Etsy, I'll just like put whatever little business card thing they have on the inside cover. Like I did that with my Wild Whiskers Oracle. But these cards, like this deck is so beautiful, and like the colors are just so aligned with my essence. And just it just makes me think of Twilight, like just dawn, dusk, like it's gorgeous, and like just the gold lettering and everything is so nice. And this is like embossed, engraved. It has like a texture to the gold foil sort of thing. And it's very interesting that each tarot deck has, well, each deck in general has its own energy, but and particularly with tarot, like based off the Rider-Waite tarot, like just the art itself can give a different meaning to the base meaning of that tarot card. And so I admit, like the first couple, I would say the first 2 days with this deck, because I've been using working with the Wild Unknown tarot for so long now, it was initially there was a layer of like irritation there, because it's like, this isn't what I'm used to, and so I found myself like getting confused and not connecting with certain, not connecting, but just not understanding the meaning of certain cards via the art on this. And then by working with it for a few days, I started grasping it, and it helped for me to lay out all of the cards instead of like comparing it to the other tarot deck or comparing it to just Rider-Waite like base, like just feeling each card individually, what it has to say to me, and getting to know each and every one of these lovely ladies, essentially. Even though I pre-shuffle everything, I am going to shuffle this again. other people who utilize cards have this same experience. I mean, I feel like I know one reader on YouTube in particular would probably feel this. 13 Moons Tarot, I believe, is their username. Andy. Make sure I do 3. But each deck has its preference for how it likes to be shuffled. And some of them are just like soft preferences, and for others, they will energetically yell at me and scream at me if I even think about trying to shuffle them in particular ways. So, you know, I just honor each deck and what it needs. All right, just go with the flow. And another thing I love about this deck is, I mean, it's pretty inclusive in the sense of, like, for female identities on here, it does include, like, the Chariot card has a wheelchair using woman on there. I love that. That's one of my favorite cards, just solely for that purpose. I would like to see one of them with crutches. Like, the fact that it's only one wheelchair user is kind of like, but it's all right. It's forward movement, right? Chariot. But yeah, I appreciate the variety, and that includes, like, body shapes, body images and stuff as well. All right, so 6 of Pentacles, harmony and balance. The message I'm getting here right now is it's okay for me to share my abundance. Calling out the shadow part of me that says that it's selfish for me to share the things that I have bought, that it portrays me in some materialistic way, and that's by no means the case. It's very much things that I have manifested and am in private, and have the right to reflect outward, not in private. I'm proud of. I'm proud that I've done this for myself and gotten here to where I can access these things. And it's this, like many things, paradoxical thing to where I'm accessing these things now because I've released the need to be attached to physical objects or anything. And so that's when I receive it, is by letting go of it, by acknowledging that I don't need it. Then it becomes a blessing and reward and something to be grateful for as a cherry on top, as opposed to something I cling to. So the tarot deck is one of the things. I got myself not one, but 2 steel insulated water things, and for my own accessibility purposes, I went with the coffee, they call it the coffee cap, and silicone bottom so it doesn't get banged up too much or make too much noise. And those have been really nice. I haven't, this is the 64 ounce and I got a 40 ounce one that's like thinner, so that way I can carry it around easier when I'm out and about. And the 40 ounce one, I also got, I'll grab it, just 1 second. This one, this 40 ounce one, fuchsia. The other one's called Coral Punch. The colors, HydroCell's the brand. Though there's plenty of other ones that are basically the same thing. I do appreciate that this, like a lot of brands I noticed for the color part, like it's this like plastic film thing that they like shrink wrap up to it, but this is actually, and I could tell because there was like a tiny bit left that like didn't get like brushed off, but this is actually like, it's not rubber, but like paint dipped, and it's a textured sort of paint, so that way you can actually like grip the thing. I mean, I still lean on the silicone, but it's just, it feels nice to hold in the hand and actually like stays. And they have like matching colors for all of the accessories. So again, coffee cap. This was not through HydroCell. This was just another like a random Amazon brand thing. But the sunflower paracord, like I didn't even think that sunflowers were a thing for that. I was just looking for paracord things to match this. But I didn't like the ones that were from the brand because it was white and fuchsia, like, which makes sense for this, but I knew the white was just gonna get like dirty looking really easily with my use, especially like with this being something I'm taking like out and at some point maybe hiking with the crutches. And this is real fun too. It comes with a compass and a whistle on there. And it was actually really easy to get on there, and it's really sturdy. So far anyway. So I love that. And this gives me very much like violet flame vibes. And this like, just like aesthetic wise, basically this whole color scheme thing, I'm naturally aligning with these colors. It's very interesting because I don't make everything match intentionally, or at least not like in the forefront. It's just my essence coming out, individual items where I just go, this color makes me feel excited and alive and happy, so I go with that, and then all these come together to match these twilighty colors. So I didn't have the mic up to me. Hopefully you guys could hear me well enough. I got so excited about the water bottles that I didn't put my mic on. Oops. So yeah, that. And the crutches I'll show. I'm not gonna do a whole rant about them at the moment because there's that could be a whole video of its own because there's so many things that are customizable about these. But these are the SideStix crutches. And if when I do a video, like a review video, when I bring the smart crutches around to compare, like it's just, no pun intended with the rest of the topics, but night and day, because these are just so light. And for somebody who, I can't even carry around a bag on my body that's like 5 pounds or more without that completely making me unable to do whatever I need to do. I have a hard time just carrying my own weight around. And with these, like, I was scared before they came in the mail because I knew how heavy my smart crutches were for me. I did have to modify them to make them work for me with some heavier hardware. But that said, even before that, like like platform forearm crutches, which is what I'm most used to. Another thing I was nervous about is like, would I actually be able to support myself with this format? Because I'm used to having all my weight on like a flat platform for forearm. But these are so light, and like the bottom tube's carbon fiber, which is, you know, that takes off a lot of weight, and it's just very evenly distributed. And so there's just so many facets to this that make it worth every dollar invested, as scared as I was to invest in it, because these are the Boundless ones. They're more expensive model because it has suspension in it, shock. So when you walk, you're not gonna be able to see from there, but it takes the pressure off when you press down with each step. And this is only day 1.5 with these, so I've just been like working on adjustments at baseline. I haven't done any like full, sorry, I just noticed there's like a piece of fabric that's loose here. I could do an easy sewing with that, but that's all right. So yeah, I haven't been able to like really give these a solid trial yet. It's just been getting it ready for that. But yeah, last night it was rough because I haven't been used to standing a whole lot, really standing in place a lot and doing adjustments. You would think it's walking around a lot, but it's actually just standing in the same spot and then just kind of like leaning and looking at yourself in the mirror to figure out like where your shoulders are, and it's a whole thing. And that was more exhausting than just like forward motion with crutches. When I'm in motion, I think it's because there's like the muscle use shifts from different muscle groups or different areas of muscles, as opposed to just if you're standing in one position. Like the way I can explain it is like with certain types of yoga, if you're holding a static position, after like, I don't know, everyone's got a different time and different strength levels at the moment, but like you hold a certain position for a certain amount of time, you start like getting shaky because it's like, okay, these muscles are getting tired, right? But then once you go to like change positions, it's almost like it's its own form of relief to like move into a different position that in between that you're moving. And it's not that you're not exerting, it's just you're exerting, but it's multiple muscle groups like in motion. It's a different kind of exertion, right? So it's a really tiring process, basically is what I'm getting at, to make the adjustments first, and then it'll be its own tiring process for the 30-day trial, to see if I can hold myself up on the crutches, because again, I've been mostly a wheelchair user for the last year or so, and so I have like upper arm strength built, but because it's an ill-fit wheelchair, I don't have the forearm strength that kind of went, and lower body hasn't been quite with it, so we'll see where that goes. Point being, I'm excited to have access to these things, and very much are deserved. And yeah, I'm feeling really good about things in general. Trying to think if there's anything else in particular. There's been like random things here and there that I've gotten, but for the most part, it's like, for example, like this, the Koh-I-Noor lead holder, the lead clutch holder. I've got another lead type coming in the mail today, I think, or maybe tomorrow. I've been eyeing lead holders for some time, and I just love writing, sketching, drawing with them, and this came in recently, so that's been really fun to play around with. Most of my purchases that I now can make have to do with accessibility, spirituality, and or creativity, and all of those things are intertwined. So the things that really keep me excited and alive, feeling alive, are part of the things that keep me feeling excited and alive. I'm going to pull another card and see if there's anything else, because this has been going on a while. Thank you for watching. Ace of Swords and the Magician, and these are with some fiery, deep colors here. Ace of Swords, Magician, Epiphany, Magician. I have everything I need to start this new idea. I feel like this is more of I get the feeling that this is going to be something that's going to present itself throughout the day as a theme, as opposed to anything like to be shared outward at the moment. Page of Pentacles. Beginning of physical foundations for things. A lot of earthly energy right now. Earth and air. All right. For those of you who did stick around this long, thank you. I hope your Friday, your Venus day is going as beautifully and peacefully as mine is. Or rather, not just hope, but I manifest that for you, with you, through you. It is, of course, always a choice. I look forward to connecting with you